People pursed their lips and averted their eyes, shaming him into near invisibility with the verve of their avoidances, trying not to ogle the prowling dead. Shambles, however, wasn't deterred or deflected or weirded out by his appearance. She saw him as a business opportunity, dollar signs, an untapped masturbation market. Though she wouldn't establish eye contact with him during the act itself. She never did with any of them. "Do you mind if I drink with you?" Shambles said to No Eyebrows, then asked Owen to pour her another whiskey. "I'd like that," No Eyebrows said. "Thanks." Owen brought her drink and said, "This is your last shot." He resented how openly she flaunted her zeal to fondle the customers, because the only hands that had been on him in over a year were incidental brushes. Often he felt like a person collecting tolls at a bridge, interacting with hundreds, thousands of people every day, but never knowing any of them. They approached, idled, vanished, and he was stuck in his tiny shack. Damascus, in this case, awaiting the next impatient exchange. Shambles frowned at Owen's warning. She waved him away. He could be testy. A nice man, but definitely grumpy. Not to mention his atrocious birthmark. She tried not to stare at it every time they spoke, but she couldn't help herself. It was like he had a third nipple on his upper lip. "Why are you thanking me for drinking with you?" she said to No Eyebrows. "I was raised right. Cheers," he said, holding his schnapps up in the air like a Bible in a minister's hand, a prop to retrofit the fragile world. Instead of echoing cheers, though, Shambles crashed her glass into his, spilling whiskey on her fingers, and said, "To livers aching like shin splints." He laughed. They drained their shots, flushed faces from the spirits, humidity spreading through their private ecosystems. "I've never seen you here before," she said. "First time." "What brought you into this dump?" "I was incredibly parched." "You don't seem like you have much in common with these deadbeats." He pointed at some of the men in their vicinity. "Doesn't that make them the lucky ones?" Shambles didn't know how to respond to this. Didn't know what to do with that kind of tactless honesty amongst strangers, especially in bars where men and women typically honed their espionage, cloaked in personas. Deception was the norm. Cab drivers disclosed that they were venture capitalists. Rickety alcoholics morphed into ex-athletes. Those with anonymous office jobs had recently retired from the cubicle because of an important invention. One bloke even tried to convince a woman that he masterminded the caps lock key. Every interchange was a con. Every night, a pitiful costume party. Except here was No Eyebrows, blowing the whole cycle of charades for everyone. Here he was having the audacity to be heartfelt, and what was Shambles supposed to do with someone showing honesty? So instead of answering him directly, she turned her attention to tawdry commerce. "How'd you like to get off?" Owen should have been dumping olive juice into a dirty martini, but instead he stared at Shambles guiding No Eyebrows into the bathroom. Owen sighed, worried that it would take more than some shattered mirror shards pasted to the ceiling to really change anything around here. Maybe the art show would do the trick. It was coming up pretty quick and was going to be unorthodox, to say the least. Anti-George W. Bush. Anti-war. Dead fish dangling from the walls. No one knew of this yet, but the show was actually going to change a number of things, including lives. It would end up being covered on CNN, the BBC, all the major news outlets, torching its way across the internet news feed and social sites as one of the most surreal, outlandish, unbelievable stories to come around in a while. But we'll get to all that soon enough. As soon as they were in Damascus's bathroom, he yanked his pants down. Shambles locked the door, showed him a rubber. "It's $20 with this." She shook the little silver square back and forth, business savvy. "40 without." She pulled a lube tube from her purse and